Trundeed with you. Holy Circle Gaming. Thank you for rocking with your boy like always. Definitely a privilege and an honor to do as such. We back at it. It's been a while since I got some content on this particular channel, but we back at it for you. Now, I know the question is, I know a few people already know, what have I been doing in the meantime since dropping content on this channel? Good question. I have a good answer for you too. So, doing this content on this channel, it's not like I haven't been away from the channel for too long, but I've been dropping content on other channels as well. So, if you know me by my other alias, Nerdboyfresh, then you know that I'm a part of some other content as well. Part of that content will be I'm part of the PVC Podcast Crew, in which you can see me there, which I drop in a little bit of content where we talk about various different topics in that regard. Other people has found me on the other channel, the Pop Lock and Slotted channel, where we do slots content with the missus, of course, so we're outside dropping some gaming content in that regard. So I've been involved in that as well. Also, if you want to see your boy in some, movie short action on some independent film stuff, you could catch me on the World Heat Entertainment side of things, where you would catch me in Hilltop Brawl. I'm in episode 2 and 3, and going forward, I will be in various episodes on that as well, where I'm also a part producer, part writer as well in that regard, amongst other things I've been working on. So, I've been outside. I just haven't been necessarily dropping no true gaming content. But one of the things was asked was, yo, when you go to get back on your gaming stuff? Well, I think it's about that time I get back on the gaming stuff. So I'm actually back at it. So for all the people who want to be back at it, to know what I've been doing, what I've been playing, this is going to be connected to part of the PVC podcast portion of things as well, which will be in a separate segment called the What You're Playing segment. So in the What You're Playing segment, I'm going to be doing content on this channel. I will likely have the boys be doing content on their individual channels. You can talk to my boy Paul, PBO, on the Instagram side of things. My boy Vic as well, all part of the PVC Podcast Crew. And we're actually going to get some gaming content up so we can always show you from different perspectives what we're playing. But now that I got all the pleasantries out the way, let's get back to one of the OG games I was playing prior to. Shout out to my boy Jake Dempsey, who actually caught me on one of my other channels, and he was like, yo, you gotta come back outside and play some of this Marvel Puzzle Quest. So I was like, bet, let me go ahead and play a little bit of this Marvel Puzzle Quest and see what it's about. It's funny, I've been quietly playing this game for probably about 3 or 4 days since he asked me about it, because I had to get a little bit familiar with what's been going on, because the last time I actually played this game was January 2023. So in January 2023, that's about 3 years removed from even looking at, thinking about, knowing what's going on within this game. So with that being said, for me, I have to get back to the learning curve, because I know the game, the layout has changed in this game. The gameplay has changed a lot in this game. Some of it really hasn't changed as much as what I thought it did, but there's a lot of things that has changed in the Marvel Puzzle Quest world. Now, for the people who hasn't been following along with the content that I did before, you can check a lot of my older content from a couple of years ago to see where I kind of left off in that regard, as far as like what I was doing in the Marvel Puzzle Quest series. But now that I'm returning to it, there's a few things that I like about it, and there's a lot of things that I could probably do without. But it's partially because the way that I approach the game. Now, one thing I do notice before we get into the Deadpool dailies, of course, one of the things that didn't change, and I will always be a big proponent of this, if you don't do anything else as far as like the day-to-day, because one of the things when you're playing a game like Marvel Puzzle Quest, you do have to devote a good 30 to 45 minutes into it, probably, maybe a little bit less. You could probably, maybe, if you're quick enough at it, you could probably get away with it in like 15 to 20. But realistically, to play a game like this, you gotta invest some time, 30 to 45 minutes roughly a day, to kind of get all the basic stuff out of the way. And really what that means is that, in the setup that you have here, You're going to have your story mode and stuff, but one of the things that you always should be doing every single day, this part has not changed. You should always be knocking out your Deadpool dailies. So when you're playing Marvel Puzzle Quest, you want to get these because you want to get kind of the tacos and the bonuses connected along to it. So when you're doing your Deadpool dailies, of course, for the people who are unfamiliar or uninitiated, there's going to be sections where you're going to be running with pure 1-star characters. There's going to be sections where you're going to be running with pure 2-star characters. There's going to be some section where you run with 3 stars and so on and so forth. But objectively, what you really want to do is kind of go through this as quickly as possible so you could go ahead and get the bonus rewards connected to it. And that is super essential. Now, the way that I've always approached this game was probably unconventional in the way that it should be now, because currently I'm not on an alliance, in which I truly feel that the way that the game is set up now, you have to be on an alliance, and with that, it makes the game a little bit easier because you'll get the extra perks that is necessary. But that has always been true to games like this. Before, when the game was in its early stages, like 6-7 years ago, when they really didn't have alliances and things like that, you could probably get away with running this game flat on your own without no help of anybody and really get really far within the game. The only problem is like what happened with me. When you stop playing a game like this, then you go through the problems of, well, how do I catch up? The problem is it's super hard to catch up on this game because you lose a lot of ground when you're not playing this game consistently. And that's kind of what happened with me. It's not the fact that my team is in a super bad position, but it's undermanned and it's underdeveloped and undermanned. And I will show you that in a little bit as far as like how my characters are developed or not as developed as what they should be, because I didn't play consistently for 3 years. When you're 3 years removed, I should be at a much higher tier than what I am, or I should be at the tier where I am, but the people who are at my tier are a lot more advanced than where I should be. I really should be in a much higher versus tier, and I will show you some of the versus tier setup in a little bit, but it's way undermanned. And so that's one of the things I learned in the process of when I was like playing quietly on the sidelines for a little bit before I started getting the content up for this particular channel, is that the first thing I learned is that my team is way undermanned. Now before, I would say I was a high mid tier. Now I would probably tell you that I'm a low mid tier. One of the things that you see right here, you see where you could join an alliance. As you will see, I have not joined an alliance as of yet. If I decide to go full force into this, I may talk with people who are in the Marvel Puzzle Quest community and see if I could jump in and join an alliance and see how that works out for me if I decide I want to go full in on this game again like I used to. Because when you do devote into this game for real, you do have to lob in a good amount of time in order to play the game, get all the benefits out of the game, because you really need a lot of resources in order to develop your characters. Now, the other thing that you should see on here, let me go to the versus side of things. So, you know, just like with anything else, there is like versus competitions that you could get into. As you well see, normally I could easily, like 3 years ago, being in level 7, 8, 9 would be a very easy thing for my particular lineup and setup. But now, you know, I'll just start at a level 7. I'm not going to really go heavy into this one, at least not in this particular instance. But I just want to show you the advantage, disadvantage of how my team is set up. So just look at the character setups. You know, you got a 5-star, 4-star, and a 3-star, but you have a high developed 5-star, a high developed 4-star, and a high developed 3-star. So on my particular roster, and I will show you what my roster looks like, I don't have high developed 5s. I have a few high developed 4s. As you will see, Captain Marvel, Luke Cage, Nick Fury, amongst others. So I have some developed 4s, but I don't have any high developed 5s. And when you're playing, even on level 7, if you don't have high developed um, high developed 5-star characters, that could be a problem really fast because a lot of people who's been playing throughout the 3 years when I haven't been playing had the time to develop these 5-star cards, and it's been very beneficial for them, especially when you're running in versus competition. That's why, for me, the way that I'm currently playing right now, I really don't drop into versus competition because for me, I would get really beat up really fast, and it wouldn't even be my fault because like a team like this here, I could probably overwhelm like a team like this, but more of the teams that you will run against, a lot of the high developed 4-star and 5, especially with a team that has a high developed 5-star, a high level like a 403 cap. I don't on my roster. I don't have any characters that is higher than like 330. Everybody's characters, even at tier 7, is higher than a 330. They're all like 400, 420, 430. They're very high developed. So I would just be in a very losing effort, or I would have to really struggle in order to make my teams work in order to defeat these teams. Even if I ran some of the traditional trusty teams, like if I was running like a Gamora, Rocket, and Groot type, combination of plays. I don't know if those combinations even work anymore. I haven't even looked at combinations, like which combinations are better now. Certain combinations are pretty stock, like the Iron Fist, Luke Cage combination is cool. There's a lot of, a lot of the trusty combinations work, but they don't work in versus because of the tier that I'm sitting at right now. So, just so y'all can see, my roster, I got 138 on my roster. I noticed that they added a lot of 2-stars in there, which was cool because like 3 years ago, the 2-stars, I was capped out on 2-stars. There was no other 2-stars I could go with. Now they added about 7 or 8 2-stars. They added some 3-stars in there, which actually gives the game a lot more balance. Now I don't even know what those 2-stars actually do. So let me take a peek real quick and see. So these are the 2-stars, and I have a couple of these I could pick up on my roster, like Iron Patriot. I have a card of those in my roster I could get to. A Ghost Rider I could put that on. And Electro as well, I could put that onto my roster if I so choose to. And I may swap out a couple of my 2-stars in order to put these on, literally just to see what it does, to see how these cards rock. Because a lot of these cards, like the Nightcrawler one, the White Tiger one, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't have the slightest idea what they look like. And one of the things I haven't done, I haven't even looked at other content creators who are in the Marvel Puzzle Quest space in order to see what these cards, like what these 2-stars do, if they're any good, if it's even worth adding them onto the roster versus the trusties that I've already had for a long period of time. So I don't even know if it's even worth the swap out. I remember that back in the day, Spider-Man Bagman was like the gimmick card. I don't even know if that's even good now. I haven't even tried it yet, but I will. Same thing with the 3-stars. I'll click out of that real quick. Let me go with the 3-stars. And I will show you that there's a lot of 3-stars that are added in there, like the Agatha Harkness, the April Parker, Arcade. A lot of these just got added in a while. I know for people it's a while ago, but for me, this is all new to me. So for me to do some research, I'm gonna have to do a lot of research to try to figure out if any of these cards are good, if they have good tiers on it, if it's worth even picking up or not picking up. I would have to really kind of see what all of these cards do or not do. So I might just pop in. Maybe I'll tag in with some of the people who are in the Marvel Puzzle Quest community to see if it's even worth developing, not developing. Because I have resources to work with, as you see here. So I have some Isolate, of course. I have some coins where I could add some roster spots. I have some, command points. So I have certain things that are working, of course, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not enough. And that's kind of the point where you get when you're playing some of these games here. So when you're playing a lot of these games, is that, let me go to, let me do level 6, because I can't do a level 7, because 355 is too high for most of my teams. I'll do a level 6 right now. I'll just do that one for right now. I may come back into it. We may do a little bit more of this maybe tomorrow, the next couple of days. while I talk about this. So, when you're playing a game like this now, I think the key is at this juncture is that you're going to have a lot of characters that are high ranking, especially in lower tiers. Meaning that your three stars have to be really good. Your 4 stars have to be almost exceptional at this point in time because you're going to be like for me, I would have to play 2 tiers, 3 tiers lower just to match up to do simple gameplay, simple competition on this game. And that was kind of the point where I was at the first time, where when you're playing on your own and you're a mid tier, it gets pretty tough trying to figure out like how to like create, develop, work your team to where the team makes good sense and you could compete. Like I'm just throwing some 3 random characters right now. I'm not even throwing combinations that I would normally throw in this game. But that's the one thing that I saw when you're playing a game like this is that you have to really like devote heavy into it or you're going to have to start paying your way through. And I think that was one of the reasons why I started to get away from Marvel Puzzle Quest. And I don't know if I'm going to go like full into Marvel Puzzle Quest just yet. Because like I said on on what my content is, I'm going to want to run different games at any given point in time. So I may not fully flesh out playing Marvel Puzzle Quest in particular, but I may jump into it from time to time just to see like this, like how can I maneuver in this space? Is it worth the time, effort, and energy, or is it going to be like a losing cause? Maybe I'm just too far down. Maybe I'm too far down on the scale to catch up, and I might be because this is one of those games that I didn't really want to invest no money into it. This is not like a team that I invested any type of money into. I started this game years ago. Shout out to my original Holy Circle Gaming Squad, Boom Boom Shot Put, and my boy Raccoon HD. He actually goes by Foxy now. They're the ones who actually put me onto this game originally. We would be, sitting at the job and we were talking about this game, and they would say, "Yo, you should actually stream this," and that's what actually got me starting to stream this particular game. And from there, when I was first starting, it was easy to kind of just go in there, get my gameplay in, not worry about like putting any type of additional money into it. So I was one of the ones who did this, not dropping no type of money into the game. Now I fear that to play a game like this now, and I know that the development team have to get their money for this game because this game has been doing really well, and you have to kind of invest a lot into it, and they have to recoup the money in order to play this, in order to keep this game up and running and at a good state. You got to start charging people money one way or another, and I just feel that they are basically at a point where they have to charge people for certain things, so you're going to kind of cap out in the middle. But if you want to really compete at top tier levels, really compete against a lot of different people, especially on the versus side of things, you're going to literally have to put in the money. And I don't know if it's really worth putting in the money on this particular game because it's a lot involved, and there's other games I would rather devote into that's not like a pay to win cycle, because I think that's one of the things that this is starting to look like now. It's starting to look like a pay to win game. I'm not saying that it is. It's just starting to look like it because to get to higher tiers, to get what you need in order to go forward, you're going to have to most likely invest some money in order to make that happen. So, one of the things I was going to do before I stepped away is that I have a lot of coins. And one of the other thing is, as you well see, so you notice before they wouldn't have they would have offers, but it wouldn't be like blatant in your face offers to get certain things. But a lot of the times that in the game, you're going to need a lot of these, offers in order to catch up if you're playing from behind, or if you're just starting, you're going to start off really well. Because on my mobile, I did try to play it on mobile just from scratch, And playing it from mobile, you could start off and get to a good mid-tier position pretty quickly. But the problem that you're going to run into is that you're going to get to a point where you're going to be a mid-tier and you're going to run into problems as far as like having enough open spaces to get the characters that you need to develop them. So you're going to have to really be picky and choosy about which characters are going to be important or not important to put onto your team. And that's where the money grab starts to come into play. So that's why I would say it's super difficult when you're playing a game like this, because I think that it got to the point where maybe a money grab, but the game in itself is still fun. Like the gameplay mechanics, like the match 3 mechanics is still very fun to play. I just think that it's just super difficult in order to get a lot of traction when you either are starting off or you're mid-tier, because to jump up to the tiers that you really would want to be at to get the high volume characters like the 4 stars and 5 stars developed. And I did notice, let me go back here real quick on the roster. I think I saw that there is some 6 stars. Yes, they got 6 stars that they actually have in the loop. So there's a 6-star Ghost Rider, there's a 6-star Spider-Man, and a 6-star Galactus. I wouldn't even know the first things about how to get there. I know that they're new, and I know that if they're putting 6-star characters in play, that means the 5-star characters are going to be starting to lose value, and you have to develop them. Because if you're already thinking 6 stars, that means they already got a good amount of roster for 5-star characters. That means your 6-star characters is going to be very, very, very difficult in order to develop. But be it as it may, I do have a lot of coins that I could pull from. So in my recruitment coins, as y'all well see, I have, what do I have here? I don't have any for the Master of Maps yet. I got in my heroic, which will give you 2-star, 3-star, 4 stars. And plus, you could get some of the development hearts and stuff. I have 32 of those that I could claim as well. And the standard ones, I have about 57 standards, which gives you 1-star, 2-star, 3 stars, of course. And the elites, I have 47 elites, which gives you 2s and 3s, of course. I have 27 of the mighties, which gives you 3s and 4s. I have 3 of the supports. And that's another thing that when I was starting to play, supports was relatively new. I don't know if supports are have any type of heavy impact or not. I haven't been back playing enough to know how well the supports has been going as far as like as of late. I don't know if it's a vital part of the game or not. I know it was one of the things that they were trying to add into the game to make the character stronger. I just don't know how vital or not vital those are, but we'll go into that. And I think I have maybe a couple of legends. I got a couple of legend covers I could pull from, which are part of the latest legends, or they're not even the old school legends. Those are like the new school legends. And I wonder if they could show you. Yeah, let me show some info. So, in the legends, it gives you like the guarantees. So if you get a guarantee of your favorite heroes that you're trying to develop, like currently at the time, it was 4-star Rocket and Groot, and that was 5-star Black Bolt, and at the time, that was probably the way to go. I don't know if that's the way to go now, because I know that my Rocket and Groot, I know I have a lot of points in there, and I'll probably want to keep developing Rocket and Groot as a 4-star. But it was one of a few that I was working on. And then you can see like the latest Legends packs, like the odds, and that's the one thing I do like. The one thing I do like about Marvel Puzzle Quest, when you do your pack picks, they actually put the odds in there immediately. You got a 1 in 7 shot in order to get these particular covers, and then the 4 stars and the 5 stars. It actually tells you, the breakdown between those. So when you're chasing after these little 4 stars or whatever, it tells you like the 4 stars that you actually have a shot to get. And then it tells you the 5 stars that you have the option to get. So these are the 5 stars that are actually in play, that you actually have a 1 in 7 chance in order to get a 5 star. Everything else will fall under the 4-star category. And the kicker is, it's not even like in this particular setup, the one that I have, these are all the new school 4 stars, at least what they consider to be the new school 4 stars. And I don't even know if any of them are good. I don't even know if I have. I know I have that Iceman 4-star. I have a few of the 4-stars there, but these are like the new school 4-stars versus like the classic one. I'll look at the classic legends real quick. Like in the classic, this gives you a little bit better shot. This gives you a 1 in 6 shot to get these particular 5-stars. So the 5-stars on the classic ones has a little bit better edge to get 5-stars in the legends, in the classic legends versus like the new school legends. And then on the rest of them, there's a lot of 5s, but the 4-stars, there's like regular standard 4-star shots, but you have a lot better odds of getting 5-stars in the classic versus the new school legends. Which is fine though, not tripping. And there is a path where you can actually get, a 5-star here, which is called the Jade Spear. So I guess there's an event that I need to work on in order to get a pool to get a shot at this particular pack. I'll have to look to see which setup that is in order to get a shot at these particular legends. If I so choose to do it, I'll have to look into it. I'm not going to look into it at this particular point in time. There's another one that has the family legends, same thing. There's an event that's connected to it, which will give you a shot, a 1 in 7 shot to get these particular 5-stars versus the rest of the 4-stars that are there, which is cool. That's the one thing I still like about this game a lot, that they actually show you what the odds are. Like even in the support, you got a 1 in 50 shot to get these, like to get the 4-star support, a 1 in 50, which is, a very low shot, but it's possible. In the 3-stars, you got a 1 in 10 to get a 3-star support, a 1 in 3 to get a 2-star support. So it actually gives you odds, and that's important. So I may go into this in a little bit more detail, but one thing that this game will provide, and this will actually connect to what me and the missus do on the Pop Lock and Slot It channel. So when you're talking about the odds and the math behind certain things, pack pulls are a lot like slot machines. I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail a little bit later down the line, but when you see that, when you're doing pulls like you see here, I didn't mean to click that, but I got a 1-star, and I got some Rockin' and Groot action, cool. When you are pulling packs, the odds and the probabilities of you getting a certain response, like for me to get a 3-star, it actually tells you I have a 1 in 43 chance to get a 3-star. When you're playing other games, when you're doing like pack pulls on Madden, if they actually showed you what the probabilities were, you will have a better understanding of what the math is like and how hard it is in order to get a particular card or a particular response. In slots world, if you are a slots player, a lot of the people who make slot machines are gaming companies. And the reason why they kind of work hand in hand with each other is that the probabilities and ratios in order to do like drop ratios that they use in games like this is the similar drop ratio and the algorithm that they use in slot machines. And that's why for me, understanding what happens in games like this is very easy for me to understand what happens in slots as well, is because the math between the two is fairly similar to one another because they use a very similar algorithm to understand, like, if you were to get, like in slots, if you are familiar with slots and whatnot, I'm not going to get too heavy on it because for all my kids who actually watch this, I'm not going to get too heavy into it. I will save this portion of it for the adults in the building who actually go to the casino to play slots. When you understand in slots world, minis, minors, and majors and grands, you will understand that there is a probability ratio that is connected to each of them. Now, they don't tell you what that probability ratio is on screen, but you could get a pretty good idea just by playing the game enough. Even if I didn't have the actual numbers sitting here, I would have a good idea of, well, to get a 3-star in this instance is about I would say a 1 in like 50, like 1 in 50 chance, and I would have said like a 2-star is a 1 in 10 chance, and I wouldn't have been that far off as far as like what my math would be. But in this particular instance, it shows you literally 1 in 43% chance in order to get a particular card. And you just saw when I hit a pack pull in the 1, 2, and 3, you'll see the ratio. I have out of 43 cards. If I did 43 pulls on this particular section right now, right here, if I did 43 pulls, the likelihood that I get a 3-star off of the 56 pulls that I have will be 1. I should get literally 1 per 43. Now, I could get more. I could get 2 3-stars or 3 3-stars or 4 3-stars, but I typically should only get 1 out of the 56 that I have. 1.2-ish. Maybe, so if I pulled all 56, I should get 2 3-stars. Ideally, if you look at the 2-star ratio, 1 out of 8 pulls that I have in this particular section, I should get 1 2-star out of the 8 that I got, right? So I did pull 1 already, right? So I pulled 1, that was a 1-star. I'm going to pull 7 more just so you understand that out of that, I should literally get a 2-star within the next 7 pulls, right? So we're going to pull the second one, which is a 1-star. And I'm going to get rid of the 1-stars anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. And here's another one right here. And see, as right on cue, I got my 2-star. Why did I get my 2-star? Because if I have a 1 in 8 shot, I typically should get 1 within those 8, right? So I got it within 3. So that means that I'm ahead of the curve, right? So I got my little 2-star, which is important, by the way, and it's actually one of the new ones, the Hellcat, which is one of the new 2-stars that I actually need to add onto my team, which is perfect, right? So I'm going to keep pulling another 4 just so y'all can see. So it's going to be another 1-star. And typically I should get another 1-star, and I should get 2 more 1-stars, right? I got 2 more I'm going to pull right here, 1 more 1-star right here, and I should get 1 more 1-star. Watch. Unless I get lucky. See? Exactly. Perfectly to the numbers, it actually tells you literally the math that's behind it. So it tells you exactly how hard it is to catch a 2-star and how hard it is to catch a 3-star just within these packs alone, only because it tells you literally how much it takes for you to hit 1 of each. So when you're doing your pulls, on Marvel Puzzle Quest in particular, you have to really understand that when you have like 50 covers that you could potentially pull in this particular bracket, you know, between 1-star, 2-stars, and 3-stars, you have to understand that the math will tell you that I'm going to get a bunch of 1-stars, I'm going to get an occasional 2, and if I so happen to lucky pop and get more than 1 3-star, I did well within this pack. If I was running like between 43 to 50 pulls. That's how you have to understand the math behind certain games. And a lot of these games are based upon math. Same thing here. I'm going to look at the math real quick just so y'all can see. So I have a 1 in 4 chance, a 1 in 4 shot to get a 3-star, right? And everything else should be a 2-star. 1 in 4. So I'll go ahead and pull 4 and see if it holds true. Now, I could get unlucky and not get a 3-star within 4 pulls. That is very true. But ideally, the math would tell you right off cue that I'm supposed to get at least 1 3-star off of the pull. So as y'all well saw, I caught the 3-star literally off first pull. But out of the 4, I should have got 3 2-stars and 1 3-star. Now, I got my 3-star first, which is fine because that's a Thanos. I can actually use that to develop my Thanos. And then I'm going to pull another 3 just to make sure that you see the 4, which is a 2-star. Then I'm going to pull another one, which should be a 2-star as well. Now, if I get lucky, I should get a 3-star in this particular mix. But I got another 2. But that's right within the math, right? That's literally the math. So when I know people will always question, like, how do you understand the math behind the games? Because in this instance, it actually shows you the math. A lot of games, like if you're doing like FIFA pulls, Madden pulls, and I maybe when I get to playing some games on the PlayStation and stuff, where you're doing like card pulls and stuff, when I play a couple of like card-based roguelikes like Griftlands and some other ones, you will understand that there is a math and an algorithm to the card drops that you get, and that would actually change your approach to how you're supposed to play these games, which is no different than any other game that uses an algorithm based upon numbers like that. So I pulled a few there. I wanted to pull one more. I want to get to the vaults. So in the vaults, so when you do the particular events for the people who are uninitiated, when you're in the vaults, they have events that are based upon vaults. The reason why I always say you want to do your Deadpool dailies because you always will get a chance to get into this particular vault, whether it's the sweet or the spicy. You'll get tacos according to those, and then you'll get a chance to pull for a lot of which is going to be like ISO 8, health, support, in a lot of particular instances. But this one doesn't show you the math per se, but it says that there's one red Hulk that you could get. There's one of these supports that you could get. There's 2 sets of 500 ISO 8. So there's a 1 in probably 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Let me count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's a 1 in 40 chance that I should get that Red Hulk. A 1 in 40. Now, if I have 40 shots, I should get a Red Hulk within the 40 pulls that I would have. But I only have 3 pulls, believe it or not. So within the 3 pulls that I have, the most ideal thing is I'm gonna get one of these. Cause see, I have the majority are going to be one of these supports. So it's going to be like either a stockpile of some sort. That's what I should get. On a rarity, I may come back and get maybe some red ISO 8 or one of the health packs. I have probably like a 1 in 10 chance to hit the health, a 1 in 12 to hit the ISO 8. Majority is going to be like the stockpiles. And then on a rarity, I could high roll, term that you hear in other platforms, and get the Hulk. But we're going to pull them and see, because I have to pull them anyway, because this event is going to end in a couple hours, so I need to pull it now. And like I right on cue, a 1 in 10 slot. I got the health pack. I actually needed a couple of those anyway, because my health has been running a little bit low, because my team is not strong enough. I'm going to pull the other 2 as well, so we're going to hope that we get a high roll of some sort. And got a stockpile right on cue. That's what I'm supposed to get. You know, the 2, I kind of high rolled a little bit in the health pack. The stockpiles are what I was supposed to get. Let me see if I high roll this one. Please give me the Red Hulk. Can I get the Red Hulk? Can I get the Red Hulk? Let's see if I get the Red Hulk. Another stockpile. Okay, that's fine. Stockpiles always work especially when you're playing in versus. It helps a lot. I'm going to also pull. I should pull maybe a couple in the sweet as well. Oh, and I have 1 in the hunt. So same thing in the hunt. I have there's options for 2 star, 3 stars. They just don't tell you the math behind it, because if you look at it, I'll give you the breakdown. So there's 80 cards that you could collect in the hunt, right? So it tells you the 80. So you see this legendary coin right here. To get that legendary token, you have a 1 in 80 shot to get this legendary token, which is super important. That's a 4-star, 5-star card. You have a 1 in 80 chance to get the Red Hulk, a 1 in 80 chance to get the Agent Coulson, which is a 4-star. You have a 1 in 80 to get the Mantis. You have a 3 in 80 to get the Vulture, which is the 3-star. You have another 1 in 80 just to get 1 Doc Ock. So it tells you how hard it is. Just by doing the combinations, you can kind of do the math and tell you what the math looks like and what you should ideally be pulling versus how hard it is to get a 4-star or 5-star. Ideally, when you play the hunt, this is what you want to get. You want to get that legendary coin is really how you want to pull. But in this particular instance, I'm going to go ahead and pull from... I'll maybe pull 5 or 6 out of the taco suite, of course. Taco suite. ISO 8 is very very typical ISO 8 pull. That one was a 500 ISO 8, which is, if you will see, it's going to be way down on the bottom. That's one of the lower ones that you could get because it's way towards the back. See how many 500 ISO 8s that you should get? But ideally, what you want out of this particular setup, you want to get these. The coins, even though you have a pretty decent chance of like maybe like a 10 to 20% chance to get these coins. That's 250 coins, which is super vital in order to develop your roster because you need the roster spaces. This is why the Taco Vault is super important because the Taco Vault gives you the chance to catch these coins, which is almost even more important than catching covers unless you need these particular covers. Like if you have 3 stars that you need to develop and stuff, yes, you catch those. If you want to catch like a particular 4-star, like the Human Torch 4-star, or catch that legendary coin, yeah, of course, if you could catch it, great. But ideally, the best thing that you could catch out of this is this here. 1,000 hero points, 1 in 300 chance in order to catch it, right? I'm going to keep pulling. I'm going to pull a few a little bit because I want to at least get a couple of shots at this. Because again, it's been a while since I did any pack pulls. I haven't done no really pack pulls on here at all. Another 500 there. So hopefully what I'm looking for is to get some of those coins. That's really what I want. If I get a legendary token, I'll be happy with that too. Ooh, I got an Iron Man. That's good. Good little cover right there. I could use him to kind of get my Iron Man up and running because that's been a very standard, old, trusty 3-star. You can never go wrong with Iron Man. When I play this game a little bit more, I will give you my thoughts and ideas on, 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, at least from the roster that I have, and maybe look at to see like some of the newer ones like Human Torch or some of the other ones to see which ones are viable options in the game now. But I'm gonna take a few more stabs at this. Ooh, another cover. Got a Spider-Man cover, which is cool. That will develop my 3-star Spider-Man, which I think I need that. Put some a little bit more work into it as well. Alright, let's see what we got here. I really would want some coins though. Like for real, coins will work out. Another ISO 8. Good. 1,500 ISO 8 is actually a pretty high hit, believe it or not. That's not like a super high, roll is not like a 5,000. But as you go well see, that is on the higher end of the spectrum when it comes to the ISO 8 hits. Let me spin like 5. I'll do like 5 more. Let's do like 5 more. Maybe we'll do 5. We'll see what we get. 2-star Storm. I really don't need the 2-star Storm unless I decide I want to combine and get 2-star Storms working. We'll take a look at that and see. I'll see what the roster looks like after with the covers. 3-star Punisher is cool. I don't know if I have Punisher on my squad right now. I'll have to look at it again. I'll go into a little more details. We'll look at that momentarily. Another set of ISO 8, but is it the good? I don't know. It's 500. I thought it was a good ISO 8. You see how it did the whole little slow flip? I thought it was going to be the good ISO 8 where you're going to get a big score. Like a 5,000 ISO 8 or something. But no, I didn't get that. Let's see what we got. Bob. I don't have Bob. He's new. He's one of the newer 2-stars. I don't have Bob on there. I don't know if he's good or not good. We'll have to take a look at him at some point. When I start doing evaluations of like 2-star, 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5s, I'll have to take a look at him. I got it. Oh, I caught it. Your boy hasn't lost his touch yet. I did catch that legendary token. I haven't lost it yet. That was I told y'all, that's a 1 in 300 shot in order to get that legendary token. So I actually caught it. Y'all see it right there. 1 in 300. I caught it within 7 or so pulls. Very hard to get. That is the best case scenario that could happen. I still wanted the coins, but I did catch that legendary token. Your boy still got it. That was one of the things I was actually kind of, I was actually cool with catching those from time to time. It's been such a long time since I actually caught a legendary. So it was cool. Dog, I almost want to pull it just to see what it turns out to be because that's a 4-star or 5-star. But yo, I did catch that legendary token off that was the last one I was going to do too, which is funny. So I actually caught that legendaries, and that's what I was telling you. On that particular setup, it was harder to catch it in this particular Taco Vault in a 1 out of 300. versus catching it in like a Venom Bomb, which is like a 1 in 80. Or, yeah, like in the Hunt, it's like a 1 in 80. It was a lot easier to catch it in some of those versus catching the hardest one, which was like in the 1 in 300 out of the Taco Vault, which is a great pull, by the way. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'll probably catch it now and won't catch no other legendary tokens for a cool minute. But it's cool. But I'm actually happy that I actually had a chance to catch that. That was dope. So, with that being said, let me go into... Should I pull a couple of legendaries? I got 6 of them. Let's do this. Let's pull... Oh, let me do this. Let me pull 2 of these... Let me see. Hold on. Let's do... I pulled a few out of the standard chest. Let's pull a couple out of the elite. We'll pull 3 out of the elite real quick. 2 stars and 3 stars, just so y'all can see. I have a 1 in 4 chance to catch a 3-star. Actually, no, I did that already. Let's just bypass that. Let's do the 3-star and 4-star. 3-star, 4-star, I have 27 there. I have a 1 in 7 chance to get a 4-star. Everything else will be 3s. Let's pull... Oh, I got it right off rip. I got it right off rip. Right off rip. Y'all see what that is. You know what that blinky means. That means that it's a 4, right? That's the Incredible Hulk's 4-star right there. Now, let me take a peek at something really fast, y'all. That Incredible Hulk was like one of, 20 or so that I could pick. So I did pull one like right off gate. 1 in 7 chance, and I pulled it right off rip. So that was actually a really good 4-star pull right there. Let's pull another one here. That's a 3-star. 3-star Cyclops. I actually need to develop my Cyclops too, which is good. So I actually need a little bit of help. And I got bonus charge, which helps. Oh, that's so good. Bonus charge. Oh, because I got the Cyclops. Cyclops give me the bonus. That's right. So I'll get those as well. Let's pull a couple more. We'll pull maybe 3 more. That is another 3-star as well. 3-star Storm, always a goodie for me. That's another 3-star as well. That's a Victor Mancha. Y'all gotta get me up to speed. So people who play Marvel Puzzle Quest now, y'all gotta get me up to speed to let me know if these new characters are fire or not. So I don't know anything about him. I don't know if his characters really work, or I got some extra bonus charge. I'll take that. Let's pull one. Got another 3-star there. April Parker, that's another new one as well. I noticed that. So I have to see if any of these new news work. One more. And that's a Doctor Strange. I can actually use that to push my Doctor Strange a little bit. Perfect. Now, I shouldn't do this, but I am. Because I'm gonna pull the one legendary coin that I got. I'm gonna pull it. If I get a 4-star, cool. If I get a 5-star, even better. I got a 1 in 7 shot to get a 5-star. I would love to get a 5-star, especially one of those, one of the ones that connects to one of my characters. I would love to get that. Let's pull it. It's a 4. I'm not mad about it. It's a 4. Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur. New. So, like I said, a lot of these are new to me, so I don't know if they're actually good or not. So, let me take a look at the roster real quick before we head off and see what this looks like. Now, like I said, with the Doctor Strange, I can actually add a level to Doctor Strange. Works out. I still like the setup. I don't think that setup should change. We'll go over character development as we go along, but 223, I like that. That's fine. What else do we have? The Storm, I could move up as well. Add a level to Storm, which is cool. I actually have a lot of points in her. I could also move her up as well. Punisher we got. Yep. And I'm going to get a coin for developing a 3-star if I'm not mistaken. Move up Storm. Storm is cool. Spider-Man. Good. Oh, the next reward is an Infinity Ward. I needed that one for for one of the storylines. I didn't get that far yet, but I needed it. I used to wait till the next one gives me a legendary token, so I get another Iron Man 40. It gives me a legendary. Ooh. So I gotta find a way to get another Iron Man 40. You know how hard it is to get that card now? Before it will be easy. I think it'll be super hard to catch him again. So I'm gonna have to try to catch him and get another legendary token. Thanos I could upgrade as well. 535, that's good. I could train this one, or I could recruit it or exchange it. We'll see. I have to take a look and see. I'll take a look, see what to do with that. Human Torch at a level, of course. I'm just adding all the levels because that's one of the things that you have to do. It's not just enough to just get your abilities maxed out. You actually have to level up a lot of your characters in order for them to be a lot stronger. I might level up again. And that in turn will give you different rewards. As you well see, that I got like rewards popping in because they're already champions. What else? What else? I got a lot of 1 star sitting there. So let me look to see what my setup looks like now. So 2 stars, I got the Bob, the White Tiger, the Electro, the Hell Cow. I really need to think about adding those into the mix at some point. The Iron Patriot, Ghost Rider. All of those are really good ones, so I have to think about that down the line. That Bullseye, I'm going to probably let go. I'm not worried about that. The 3 stars, 3 of the Vultures, I may need to really highly consider putting Vulture on because I have 3 covers for it. So I have to highly consider maybe putting that on. The 4 stars, I have the Red Hulk, which is actually part of a storyline event, so I may need to like temporarily put them on. The Doc Ock, I have to go through these and really read. I'm not going to do it on this particular video, but I'm going to have to look and see what this would really look like as far as like if I should add these on at all. Because some of them may be really good and some of them may be super situational. So I'm not sure. I don't have no 5 stars at this point in time. I got a couple of 1s I'm going to probably move off of. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. So that was actually pretty good. I actually caught a legendary. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. Let me. The other thing is that y'all see this on the quest. So the one thing that is good, they always give you like extra stuff on the side, like for doing particular like milestones and get to particular like milestones. Like if you redeem an elite, you collect 15 powers. You know, they'll give you some ISO on some certain perks, which helps. I actually kind of like that a lot. That the Marvel Puzzle Quest team has actually added in certain things to let you develop your team. I just think that when you're playing a game like this, you just get to a certain threshold where it makes it extremely difficult in order for you to kind of get to the top tiers if you've been removed from it. So my suggestion would be is like if you're going to play this, you're going to have to invest some time, play through it pretty extensively, and then in turn you're going to have to like really know that you're going to have to invest some time if you're going to play without a team, and if you're going to play without investing any money, or B, you're just going to have to just put up the bread and invest the money and just say I'm just going to invest the money, put in whatever money it takes for me to be a top tier. Because I think a lot of the top tier players, unless they were like day ones, I think ideally that they are most likely just paying their way to get there, or B, they are really just they've been there day one, so all their team's been developed from such an early part, so it does reward early adoption into the game. That's the one thing I will say about this. It does reward, like if you started off playing this game early on, if you stuck with it and just been playing consistently and grinding and working your way through it, this is a game that will reward you for your loyalty. Once you step away from it, once you get away from playing the game and jumping back in and stuff, it doesn't reward you for that. This is one of those games that it really tries to lock you in for as long as it can, and it does reward you if you do it. But I think most people, when they play a game like this, the game can be, it's fun, but it can be repetitive. It can become a grind because, you'll be like, dog, but I have to put in, a cool 30 minutes to 45 minutes on this particular game in order for it to work out. But a lot of people would rather invest that into other games that they would want to play, and that was really the reason why I stepped away from it initially, because I just wanted to play some different stuff. That was my whole reason why I'm getting away from it, because I know if I was playing just this particular game, this would be the only game that I will play because my time, as y'all well know, is limited at this juncture. Like I said, I got a lot of things that I'm in the pocket working. I got a lot of content that I drop in, pretty extensively. Between the podcast, my other slots channel. I got the gaming channel. We're getting back into the mix. I told y'all I got the movie project that I'm working on right now, and we got other content that we're actually in the mix trying to get up and off the ground as well. So it's a lot of things I'm working right now. So when it's gaming time, it's very. I have to really be strategic about how I go about which games I will particularly play. So for the people who want me to exclusively play this, I don't know if I will exclusively play this particular game because I think what I want to do on this channel is really mix it up and give y'all different varieties of game. I don't want to just be just a one game person like I was before. Before I was a one game person. I would really do these type games. Marvel Puzzle Quest. Y'all know me for playing Gems of War, other games like that. I do want to do another run of I want to run XCOM. I want to run Civilization 7 on here. I do want to run Griftlands. I want to run the Card Shop Simulator. I'm just telling y'all games that I do want to get into as we go along because those are games I think is going to be fun. I do want to maybe run some of the sports content, maybe some Madden, some 2K, some FIFA. I want to kind of incorporate some of those. I may not play extensively hard on it, but I want to show y'all variety in gameplay. I want to show some of the new stuff that's dropping in that y'all may or may not like. I was playing I was playing one of these classic games a little while ago. I was playing Weird West, which was a fun little game. I like playing a lot of turn-based strategy games. I want to get into those, show y'all how I rock on those particular games. Quietly, when I was on my downtime, I played a lot of Balatro. I still struggle with the Balatro game. I may show y'all that. I play a lot of Darkest Dungeon 1. I haven't even looked at Darkest Dungeon 2, so I definitely want to probably show y'all some Darkest Dungeon 2 on this channel. That's just a few of the many things I want to kind of pop on this particular channel. But I want to put it in what I'm tagging into the podcast for the What You're Playing content. But I also want to use this as a teaching and training tool of how game makers like this utilize the algorithm in this game to apply it to other stuff where there's real money involved. That's why the slots channel is involved. That's why we do a lot of different things, because I want to kind of pair all those things together and understand that it's always what I said from the very beginning. Everybody is a gamer. It just depends on the game that you so choose to play. And people be like, well, I'm not a gamer. Oh, no, you play. You just don't want to, you're just maybe not a video game player. You may be a chess player. Still a gamer. Well, I play chess too, by the way. So I may show y'all some digital chess down the line. See if I still got my chess skills. You may play dominoes. Oh yeah, it's still a game just the same. You may play spades. Still a game. You may be at the slot machine or playing craps or playing roulette. Still a game. You may play FIFA, Madden. You may play Call of Duty, whatever that may look like. Still a game. Oh, I play Sims. Still a game. Everybody's a gamer. You just got to figure out which game that it is that you like, and you will be surprised that, oh, well, I do play this. Maybe I do be at home when I'm playing games I really don't realize. Or maybe I do play a lot of Candy Crush, which Candy Crush is a lot like Marvel Puzzle Quest, by the way. It's just in more of a puzzle form versus a versus form. That's all it is. Everybody's a gamer. But besides that, y'all, I got to get up out of here. I got to get some other content prepared for some of the other channels. So if you want to check out what I've been up to, I will link all the details below. You will see links to each of the content that I've been working on. So if you want to see what I've been doing in the meantime and what I'm doing going forward, I suggest that you like and subscribe to this page, of course. And then when you see the other pages, the PVC Podcast Crew, the Pop Lock and Slotted, World Heat Entertainment, which has like the movie content, I suggest that you subscribe to all of that. If you want to catch me on the social medias, of course, you know who I be, Mr. Nerdboyfresh. Find me on the social medias, of course. But besides that, it's a privilege and an honor to do this. Like always, God above everything. Till the next time, family, we will do this again soon. Salute.